Still counting now? Okay, a very good afternoon, boys and girls. I'm Mr. Yo. Okay, nice to see you all back in school after a December holiday break. So for the next half an hour or so, me and also the other Vice Principal, Madam Sharifa, will be running through and also to remind you of some school safety matters. Okay, just so that you can remember all the various like road safety issues, etc. Okay, without further ado, let me go straight into the first slide. Okay. I want to change the screen. Okay, so safety is everyone's responsibility. So this is something that we can't emphasize enough. It's very important that it's not just other people's responsibility to make sure that you're safe. You also need to take charge of your own safety, be it whether you're on your way walking to school, coming to school, or whether you are on your way going home from school, or within the school itself, you also need to look out for yourself, the various places, so that you can remain safe at all times. Okay, so remember, safety is everyone's responsibility. Now, when you are coming to school, when commuting to school, there are certain things that we would like to re-emphasize and highlight to you so that you will remember and also to keep yourself safe as well. The first thing is, if you're coming to school by bus, MRT, or walking to school, always remember to use the pedestrian crossing. Okay, and as you can see in this picture, this is the traffic light that most of you should be familiar with. Always use this traffic light crossing to cross the road. Okay, do not just dash across the road if you see there are no cars. Okay, always use the pedestrian crossing. And also, if let's say the green man starts to flash as you are crossing the road, okay, do not dash across the road. Just wait at the side. Wait for the next time the man turns green. Okay, so when the man start to flash, okay, do not cross the road. Wait for the next round. And very importantly, be alert and look out for cars when you are approaching the school gate. Okay, so be it when you're crossing the road or when you are actually approaching the school gate, do look out for cars. Okay, and when you're walking to school, you can enter or leave the school either by gate 1, gate 4, or gate 5. For gate 1, right, I'd like to highlight, as you can see the picture on the left side, if you are walking, right, you should be entering or leaving the school by the security guard post. Okay, you should not walk on the road, which you can see in the picture there with the cross there. Okay, you shouldn't be walking on the road to leave or enter the school. You should be walking by the steps up the by the security guard post to enter or leave the school. That's for gate 1. Of course, gate 4, this one you all should be familiar, and also gate 5 is the one that is behind near the HDB blocks. All right. And the next thing, if you're walking to school from the direction of Bedok MRT, okay, so if you remember, this particular 2 zebra crossing is the one that's next to the MRT tracks. Okay, well, our advice to you is not to use this zebra crossing, because in the morning sometimes there'll be a lot of cars and they may not actually stop for you when you are actually crossing this zebra crossing. What we would suggest is, if you're coming from the direction of the Bedok MRT, to actually make a right turn as indicated in the picture there. Okay, make a right turn, okay, instead of crossing the zebra crossing. After you have made a right turn, you can continue to walk down, as you can see from the picture on the left hand side. Continue to walk down until you come to the traffic light that we are all very familiar with. This is the traffic light which is in front of gate 4, okay? Because it's actually safer to cross the road using the traffic lights, because the cars will most likely be stopping at the traffic light when the light is red, versus if it's zebra crossing, if you run across, or worse still, if you cycle across, it's going to be very dangerous. Some cars, because when they are turning, they may not see you. So I repeat again, if you're coming from the Bedok MRT station, make a right turn, okay, so that you can walk down towards the traffic light in front of gate 4, then you cross the road at the traffic light. Okay, don't use this zebra crossing. Okay, next, when you are crossing the traffic light, please remember to practice your curb drill. Okay, as you are crossing the traffic light, remember to practice your curb drill. What is the curb drill? Okay, so this next slide is the curb drill. Remember to look right first, okay, look right, then look left, then look right again. And raise your hand when you're crossing, okay? Raise your hand when you're crossing the road, okay? Especially for the lower primary, because you're not tall enough, the cars may not see you. So you need to raise your hand so that they can see that you are crossing the road, and they'll be able to make sure that they will not knock into you accidentally. So the curb drill, again, remember, is look right, then look left, then look right again. Then you raise your hand when you're, okay? Remember, when you're crossing the road, okay, especially for the upper primary, do not use gadgets such as handphone, okay, when crossing the road. And if, let's say, there is no footpath, sometimes there may be construction on the road outside our school gate, okay? So when there is no footpath, walk in a single file, okay? And keep close to the side of the road facing the traffic as far as possible. So again, so if let's say you see some construction outside of school gate and there's no pedestrian walkway, do walk as close as possible to the side of the road and face the traffic when you walk as far as possible. Next, just remember, life is precious, so use the road responsibly. Keep yourself safe on the road. You want to be able to get home safely. So remember, always use pedestrian crossing. Do not dash across the road. You want to make sure that you can get home safely to your parents who are waiting for you at home. And if you are walking to school, be reminded that when you, for gate 4, okay, gate 4, we actually close the gate every morning at 7:25 a.m. For yesterday and today, we gave a bit of leeway, okay, because we understand that you just came back to school. So we actually opened the gate a little bit longer for gate 4. But generally, we close gate 4 at 7:25. And especially if, let's say, it's raining very heavily, be very careful of the steps as you are walking up gate 4, okay, because the steps can be quite slippery. So walk slowly and carefully. Then for those who are coming into the school via gate 5, which is the one near the HDB blocks, similarly, the gates will be closed at 7:25. Okay, so both gate 4 and gate 5 will be closed at 7:25. So some of you may be asking, especially for those who are new to the school, if both gate 4 and gate 5 are closed, how do I enter the school? You enter the school via gate 1. Okay, gate 1 is the one which is next to the vehicle gates, gate 2 there. Okay, so when both gates 4 and gate 5 are closed, you can only enter the school via gate 1. When you're entering the school via gate 1, again, you look at this picture, do not enter via the road, the road there with the cross there, that one is very dangerous. Okay, don't even think of taking the shortcut, okay, to the general office area. You should walk along gate 1, past the security guard post, okay, and then go straight to the canteen area. Similarly, if you're coming from school, coming to school from the direction of the Tanah Merah MRT station, that means the other side, you should also enter the school via gate 1 immediately. Gate 1 will always be open. Okay, so if you find, if for some reason you are late for school, or you have some valid reason that you can only come to school a bit later, you will find that gate 4 and gate 5 will be closed. So if you find that gate 4 and gate 5 is closed, you should just walk to gate 1. Gate 1 will always be open for you to enter the school. And for those who are cycling to school, reminder again, okay, I believe Mrs. Judy Sui has mentioned before, okay, it's compulsory to wear a safety helmet. And you can only leave and enter the school if you are cycling by gate 3 only. Okay, so as you can see the picture, that's the gate that is right next to gate. And your bicycle, you must put at the bicycle bay. And e-scooter personal mobility devices are not allowed, even those are without the what do you call that, non-motorized type. Okay, okay, handbrake. Okay, your bicycle must have a handbrake, and you need to register with your form teacher if you are cycling to school. And reminder also, do not park your bicycles at the void deck of HDB flats nearby. Okay, because the residents will find it will be obstructing the way of the residents. You can look at these pictures here. These are some incident last year where we have some students who go and park their bicycles at the void deck of the flats, HDB blocks. And this actually blocked the passageway, especially for those who are using the wheelchair. They are not able to move because the bicycle actually blocked the way. Okay, so remember, if you are cycling, remember to park your bicycle in the bicycle bay in school. Okay, and in terms of the cycling, right, always use the cycling paths. Whenever there are cycling paths, try to avoid cycling on the roads. And remember the speed limit is about 25 kilometers per hour. Okay, don't cycle too fast. And also when you are at pedestrian crossing with your cycling, do not dash across or cycle quickly across the pedestrian crossing because it's very dangerous. You should always stop in front of the pedestrian crossing before, or best if you can, you may want to get off your bike and then just push your bike across the pedestrian crossing. That's the safest. Okay, frequently, for those who drive, right, frequently there may be people who just dash across the pedestrian crossing on a bicycle. It's very dangerous. You will get knocked down by a car very easily. And for those who are coming to school by private transport, like for example, your parents actually drive you to school, you can either alight at the nearby HDB car park and enter the school by gate 4 or gate 5, okay, which is the nearest to the HDB car park, or your parents can drive in via gate 2, okay, via gate 2, and then you will alight at the pickup drop-off point in school. Do not alight along the main road, okay? Do not alight along the main road because you will cause a traffic congestion. So if you're coming to school via your parents' car or some private transport, okay, get your parents to drive in and then they can drive via gate 2 and then alight at the pickup drop-off point. Just a reminder, similar, the main gates at 7:25 a.m. in the morning. So this means that your parents will not be able to drive you into the school anytime after 7:25 a.m. This is for the safety of all the students because remember gate 4, gate 5 will be closed at 7:25. So this would mean that some students will need to be walking across the pedestrian crossing. As you can see in the picture, okay, the gate 2 picture, there's this pedestrian crossing. So for their safety, we need to close gate 2 at 7:25. So if you are late, okay, if your parents drive you late after 7:25, unfortunately, you will need to alight at the nearby HDB car park and then walk across and enter the school via gate 1, okay? And be ready to alight when your parents' vehicle enter the school, okay? Alight quickly and safely. Do not block, do not do it slowly and then you will end up blocking everybody behind you. And also when you are commuting from school, that means when you are returning home, what are some of the safety reminders? If you are walking home or if you are taking public bus or MRT, you can use gate 1, gate 4, or gate 5. For primary 1 and 2, you have been assigned a gate for dismissal. So use the gate that you have been assigned. Again, this is important, it's for safety reasons also. We do not want the gates to be crowded, okay, during dismissal. That is why we actually assign gates for the primary 1 and primary 2 students so that your parents will be waiting at the designated gate to pick you up for dismissal. For cyclists, reminder again, for going home, you use gate 3. And for students taking the school bus, wait at the respective bus bay area safely. Currently, if you are taking school bus, you will actually report to the hall, okay, where you will actually be put into different groups based on your bus number. Okay, subsequently, if there is any changes in the location, we'll actually let you know. Okay, and for students waiting for parents with private transport, that means if let's say your parents is coming to pick you up, okay, you can wait at the foyer. Your parents will only be allowed to drive in after 2 p.m. Your parents will only be allowed to drive in after 2 p.m. So if you do not want to wait, okay, your parents can actually park their car at the HDB car park, and then they can pick you up at the gates. Okay, so remember, for driving in to pick up for private transport, your parents can only drive in after 2 p.m. And also, this is just a very quick reminder. Again, Mrs. Judy Sui should have already gone through those who are taking the school bus. Always remember to fasten the seatbelt at all times, remain seated, listen to the bus driver, be courteous, and also rest or read a book during your journey. Don't distract the bus driver, and do not rush, push others, do not shout, do not run, do not stand up, do not change your assigned seat. And also, reminder again, okay, in terms of the consequences, first offense is verbal warning, second offense, written warning, third offense could be suspension from riding the bus, and your parents will have to make alternative transport. Okay, now I pass the time to Madam Sharifa, okay, who is our vice principal, who will talk about safety within areas in the school. Okay.
Right. Good afternoon, boys and girls. It is important for you to take note of your safety, your personal safety, and ensure the safety of all when you are in the school. So as you know, when you come in, okay, as part of our safe management measure, there will be visual screening at the school gate. So please ensure that you're well when you enter the school. Be a socially responsible student, okay? And when you enter your class, do the normal temperature taking in the classroom and record your temperature in your handbook. Please make sure that you have your handbook so that the teacher can make sure that all are well and the lesson can start. In terms of a personal hygiene, look after yourself. Make sure that, you wash your hands, you practice hand hygiene habits, their sink in the canteen and also in your class. So wash your hands and make sure in terms of your personal hygiene, your clothes, your socks, your shoes, your blouses, your shorts, all are clean. Have a change of clothes every day before coming to school. We all need to do our part in ensuring that you are safe, and also when you keep yourself safe, the rest around you will be safe. So in terms of safe distancing, when you are in class, don't get too close to your friends, and also when you're queuing up at the canteen, please make sure you are safe. You stand 1 meter apart and ensure the safety of all. Do put on your mask at all times, unless you are having a meal, having your snack time, or you're having a meal at the canteen. So, as I mentioned, you have your recess, and after your meal, what are the things that you must remember? You know that during your recess, we have staggered recess, and also by now, you should know where your seats are. So please ensure that you go to your assigned seats. If you're still unsure of your seat at the canteen, please check with your teachers, okay? And at the end of your meal, what must you do? Please do your wipe down. And how do you do your wipe down? Make sure that you use 1 pound of the soap and you clean the area that you use well. You wipe it off cleanly, and at the end, you throw the used tissue into the dustbin, okay? So disposing of tissue is also important, and after you wipe down, you must wash your hands. So boys and girls, it takes, an effort to learn the proper wipe down and ensure that you do this without the teachers at the canteen, their teachers at the canteen doing duty, having to remind you and again. So I urge you to be socially responsible and continue to do this wipe down at the end of your meal. And within the school, when you move around, nowadays there's rain, on rainy days, the floors at the corridor can be slippery. So please exercise caution and make sure that you walk gently when the floor is slippery, okay? And also within the school compound, right, there will be differences in height. So look where you're walking, okay, and walk with eyes open to ensure that you don't stumble into anything and you can move safely from one point to another. And as you walk down the steps, okay, do observe there are arrows there, and like what Mr. Yeo said, Mrs. Judy Sue would have highlighted to you. Watch the arrows so that we don't collide with one another. So please ensure safe movement from one point of the school to another. And around the school, there are a lot of blind spots, okay? Look out for this blind spot so that you don't hit other students, all right? And what's going to happen if you hit a student and you get injured, hit a friend of yours and you get injured? So do you keep quiet? No, you don't keep quiet. You get help. See whether, you need to get, if it is a cut, okay, get help. Ask, go to the general office, or if your teachers are around, and make sure you get first aid treatment, okay? Please, if you are injured, don't just keep quiet and then go home, and then you are still in pain. It's not good. You must get your injury treated so that you won't be in pain and you'll be well soon. Okay, so please be personally responsible. If you need help, if at any point of time, please seek help. The general office, there's always someone at the general office. And within the school also, it's not a field, do not run, especially along the corridor. Why is it we shouldn't run? There's so many of you. How many of you? More than 1,200 students. There's about 1,280 something or 83 of you. And you must walk gently. You walk briskly, but you don't run, because you run into one another and there will be injuries, okay? Let's observe this personal safety and the safety of all around you. And in the school also, like what we mentioned earlier, there will be differences in height. There are curves, all right, to show you that these are some of the areas, that is for certain area, for instance, the art gallery. So there will be differences in height, and if you don't watch carefully, you will hurt yourself, you will fall, and so on. So please walk responsibly, look out for all this so that you don't hurt yourself as you move. And at the car park or the bus bay, right, as you want to cross the road to gate 1, there will be vehicles coming in, at certain time of the day. Even when you go for some go to ISH block, right, when you need to cross the road, you must look up, okay? Look out for vehicles coming. There will be delivery vehicles or the cars of the staff going in and out of school at different times of the day. So please be responsible for your safety and ensure that you look up when you are at these places, okay? And at our indoor sports hall, you know that the staircase of the indoor sports hall, as you walk down the stairs, the ledge there can be quite low, and please do not look out and stick out part of your body and so on. So all these dangerous acts should be avoided. And ISH block is is occupied by fewer number of you. So make sure that you go there with teachers. You're not alone there. And if you need, you move to the block where you need to go for other lessons. There are open, there are empty open areas that may be quiet at certain parts of the day, especially the afternoon. Please don't go there alone, okay? And if you move from one place to another, make sure you have your friends around, okay? And you are safe at all times. And anytime you feel unsafe or you see someone whom you feel you're not comfortable with, you can always get help from the general office, and we will be able to ensure that all is good for you. Okay, as you know that we have a playground, but unfortunately now, because of the pandemic situation, the playground is closed. But when the playground is open, we will give you some instructions on how to use the playground. Not too many people should use the playground when it is open, and we want to make sure that the playground is used properly. When you use the wet area at the canteen, you know that before you take your meal, right, you will have to wash your hands. And what are some of the good habits when you wash your hands? After you wash your hands, and please, when you wash your hands, observe the hand hygiene steps. When you wash your upper part of hand as well, you take 7 seconds to make sure you wash properly before you wash off the soap. And what's going to happen after you wash the soap off? Many of you have this tendency where you like to flick your hands, and what's going to happen? The floor is always wet, and you know that we have elderly cleaners who keep on mopping at the sink area, because if he doesn't do that, someone will fall. The next class which comes in, someone will fall. So please make sure that if you need to flick the water, if you need to get rid of the water, you do it at the sink area so that it doesn't continuously, the floor is not wet. And as you know, the canteen is a crowded place. Please make sure that you line up properly when you buy your food, okay? Follow the safe distancing. Make sure when you queue for your food, you are 1 meter apart. And when you collect your food, make sure that you don't knock your friend, because the food can be wet, can be hot, and will scald your friends. So please do not run with hot soup and so on. Be mindful. Walk properly to your canteen table. You have a water cooler at different parts of the school. So for instance, at the canteen, you have the water cooler. Please ensure that you use the water cooler properly. Do not drink directly from the tap. You have the water bottle, you fill up your water bottle, and you do not wash your water bottle at the water cooler. The water bottle, you should fill up the water into the water bottle directly. Okay, remember. And you're not supposed to spit at the water cooler. Remember, you are not the only one using the water cooler. The rest of us need to use the water cooler, and we have to be socially responsible when we use these communal properties in the school. And at the school field, okay, of course now the school field is closed, but remember the school field, right? They are different. The school field is not totally flat. Okay, there are slopes at the school field. So make sure that you don't fall because of the varying heights at the school field when it is open. The other parts of the school, for instance, the pond at the classroom block. Do not run and dash across the pond, because we do not want any injury to happen. And also there are some fish in the pond. Please do not feed them. When you have your recess, do not put your hands into the pond, because we do not want you to be bitten by anything. Please ensure that you do not touch the water. Just enjoy the beauty of the pond as you walk to your classroom block. And when you are at the canteen, as I mentioned, make sure that you keep your change first before collecting your food. When you collect your food, you have to make sure that you use the cutlery. It has to be given to you directly. Okay, why is that so? Because we do not want the cutlery to be touched by many people. So the stallholder will issue you with the cutlery. And at the canteen, you bring a lot of your personal belongings. Some of you have lunchbox. Okay, please make sure that you label the lunchbox, your wallet, your water bottle, because many times we see that there are a lot of water bottles, there are a lot of wallets that are lost. Our lost and found corners, have a lot of lost items. Okay, so I urge you to be more responsible, so that there's so many of these lost and found, and they are not collected by you. So please, your parents buy for you all these, take good care of this, and make sure you are able to use it for 1 whole year and not lose them. Your personal belonging really important. As I mentioned just now, do not get the cutlery on your own, because the cutlery shouldn't be touched by all other people. The cutlery, the stallholder will issue to you, and that's it. Because we do not want many hands to touch. And as you know, the pandemic situation, we want to keep everything clean as possible. And in the school, right, you have the lightning alerts at the parade square and at the porch area. So what happened when the lightning alert send a signal to you? It means there will be lightning. And what must you do? You must stop all outdoor activities, remain indoor until the lightning alert stops, and you can resume your outdoor activity. So please be alert of all this. Remember, because of safe management measures, now we have to observe the school field and the basketball court cannot be used. So you play at the parade square, and for your active recess, and the parade square is not big for everybody. So make sure you play gently and play safely, and make sure you take good care of yourself and ensure the safety of all. At all times, think safe, act safe, and be safe. I know that we have highlighted quite a bit for you during this safety briefing, but we want you to take time and exercise caution when you are coming to school, going back from school, and when you are within the school compound itself. Okay? I would like to highlight on school attire. Okay, every one of you look at yourself. Are you happy with yourself? Do you have neat hair? Okay, for the girls, if you have long hair, you tie it up. Okay, so girls, look at yourself. You tie up your long hair. And your name tag. Every one of you should have a name tag. I know that some of you have ordered your name tag, and your name tags have not arrived. So the moment your name tags are arrived, make sure you get it sewn, okay? And your name tag must be displayed clearly. So for the boys, tuck in your shirt. Your shirt, many times if you enter the school, your shirt, so some of you are not tucked in. So please, boys, please ensure that your shirt is tucked in, and your socks, okay? All of you look at your socks. Are you happy that you have clean white socks with school initials? So for those of you without the school initials, so long as you have plain white socks, good enough, make sure you have clean white socks every day, and the socks shouldn't be too low and we can't see the socks. So we do not want to waste time highlighting on all this. Most importantly is that you come to school as a BGPN and you hold your head high. As you enter the school gate, you are ready for school. Okay, that's important. Okay, you start the day well, you start the year well, and all will be good for you. Remember the name tag I told you? And all these little things, but important thing because it reflects on your personal pride. Are you proud of a BGPN? So how do you carry yourself? As you enter the school gate, are you proud that you are this student as an empowered learner, persons of strength and character? So finally, we want to emphasize that safety is your responsibility. Safety is everyone's responsibility. We have to ensure that everyone is safe so that we can learn well. So it's really our commitment. So you think about all the key messages that we have highlighted to you, and we help each other out. Take good care of yourself and take good care of all the rest, including your teachers. So I wish you a good day ahead and hope that you have benefited from this safety briefing and all the rest of the orientation program, and think about the important things that you have learned and how you can be a more responsible and a more committed student of BGPN. So thank you, boys and girls.